It's time to blow out the candles. Remember to make a wish, honey.
That's my boy.
Very good.
Happy birthday, son. Did you see that, Dad? Man, they grow up fast. I bet you can remember my 6th birthday like it was yesterday.
Mary, could you please clean up? Lucius can help you with the dishes. He can stay up later this evening to play with his new toys, but in bed no later than 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Get ready for bed.
If I put the pieces together, this all started years back, with the arrival of a new life. Dante Manor was a place filled with darkness, and there were outward ambitions and hidden histories in that house. I tried to help. I should not have become so involved. But how these things unfold when we are thrust on the scene, I can't account for it all. For my part in these events, I waive responsibility. But it's there. It's a mark I should have noticed. At its source, at the center of it all, was the boy.
Lucius, there you are, and here I am, finally, face to face. It's okay, you can trust me. You know who I am, don't you? I've come to speak to you about your calling, my boy. Each offering you bring me will make you big and mighty. It's a simple thing to do, Lucius. You can influence your future and become a master over all. But oh, so much to do, so much ahead of you. I have some things for the birthday boy, there on the desk. You'll need this notebook. It will help you on your journey. Excellent. And look, a flashlight. This will help you find your way around at night. Go ahead, pick up your new toys and see how they work. Such a bright boy. Now, Lucius, you need to do a little something. It is important that you are not caught. In the kitchen, you left the lock on the freezer door. You will need to get that padlock, Lucius, and hide it where nobody can find it. Otherwise, they will discover you. And believe me, you wouldn't want that to happen. Go now, get the padlock, before the adults wake up.
Detective McGuffin, what do we got here?
It looks like a cardiac arrest, sir. The woman collapsed in the walk-in freezer. This was probably caused by the sudden change of temperature. She was in her mid-50s.
Typical of women her age. Did you talk with the owner of the house?
No, sir. They're waiting for you in the kitchen.
How can something like this happen, Detective?
Was it a seizure of some kind?
We'll look into it, but it looks like a case of misadventure. I'd ask that you stay clear of the kitchen and keep staff away while we clean up. Just relax and focus on getting life back to normal.
Thanks, Detective. We'll try our best. Hi, Jean. Thank goodness you're here. Things are a mess. This could have real negative repercussions in an election year.
It's a private matter, and an unfortunate accident. The press will keep out of it. I've seen to that.
I could always count on you, Jean. Make yourself at home while I tidy up some papers. Just ring for Alistair if you need anything.
Take all the time you need.
Can't you see I'm performing a delicate operation here? Why don't you go downstairs and watch TV or something?
Well, there you are, Lucius. Let me look at you. I believe you've grown since I last saw you. Have you seen my matches?
The current time is 10:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Don't worry, Lucius. Mary is now in a much better place, along with her husband.
God help me! Ah! Ah! Oh, no, no! What can I say, Mr. Wagner? This is a real unfortunate series of events. Quite uncanny.
Gene was my campaign manager and a friend of the family for many years. I'll be lost without him.
I know this must be a difficult time for you, but we really must do an investigation here. I'll need to speak to your handyman about the gas leak. This shouldn't have happened. I had a feeling there was something weird going on in that house. I couldn't quite yet put the pieces together, so I took a step back for a while, let it brew. And after a few weeks, the call came in. Just when things were getting back to normal, there had been another accident in that godforsaken house. It happened on a rainy day. I think it was Tuesday. The janitor, who was known to be quite the drinker, was fixing a bathroom in the lower west wing.
Hello, Lucius. Here we are again. You have been doing very well, haven't you? My, you make me proud. But I must teach you some of the more, let us say, subtle arts which you can use. You can train your mind to move objects at your will. Here, let me show you how. Excellent. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Now you know what to do, my son. You must continue with your mission and bring me souls. Be careful, but show no mercy.
There you are. Did you sleep well? I must speak to your father about that candy. Have you cleaned up your room yet? I have told you 1,000 times, you have to clean up your room first. Did you remember to brush your teeth? Don't make me remind you again. There you are. Did you sleep well? I must speak to your father about that handyman.
I hate to tell you this, Mr. Wagner, but it seems your handyman was drunk as a skunk. He was an accident waiting to happen.
I was going to fire him after the other incidents, but I just didn't have the heart. It's hard enough to keep the staff here with recent events.
You can't blame yourself. This might be the worst case of professional neglect I've ever come across. While this might explain the gas leak, it still doesn't explain the death in the walk-in cooler. The autopsy on the maid was inconclusive, but we're still working on the theory she had a poor heart or circulation problems and fainted.
If you want that bicycle for Christmas, you need to start doing chores around the house. Take the garbage out, for instance.
Hello, Lucius. You know you shouldn't be here. Well, now that you're here, you can carry those boxes to the freezer. They're not too heavy. Hello, Lucius. You know you shouldn't be here. What the hell? Why'd that damn lamp explode? How can I use a saw now if I can't see nothing? Hey, Lucius, go and find me some new lamps, will you? I need to keep working here.
This situation is ridiculous, Mr. Wagner, and I'm holding off the Bureau from launching an inquiry. I'm posting a deputy at the house. It's more for your own protection.
I wish I could explain these as more than accidents, but I can't think of a motive. I can't imagine how anyone could have gotten away with this.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Just consider this house a house on lockdown until something comes up. It wasn't a pretty sight. Heads sawn in half and blood everywhere. These freak accidents were keeping me up at night. 4 deaths in 4 months, all apparent accidents. But I had my doubts. I still had no clear suspects, no motives, no way to even start an investigation. At this point, I was only sure about one thing. It was not going to end here. I was right about that. Another month went by when we got the call to go back to the house, but this time it was different. This time, it was murder.
Doing here? I'm busy, and I don't have time for you right now.
Hey there, boy.
Sorry, son. I really don't have time for you right now. We'll do something fun tomorrow. I promise.
Agnes told me to get rid of these bloody rats before Thanksgiving. I'd like to see her getting up off her fat arse and try it.
Be a good boy, Lucius, and see if Alistair needs help.
What the? Someone there.
Do you know I saw a crow outside today? I don't think I've ever seen one here before. You have been such a good boy lately. We need to reward you somehow. Sorry, Lucius. I'm just a little tired.
This is a clear case of poisoning, and I need to interview everyone in the house again. Who prepares the food around here now?
I think it was Jovita, but I can't imagine she would be capable of something like this.
Oh my God! Why is this happening?
It's for me to decide who is capable of what, Mr. Wagner. Would you consider vacating the house for a couple weeks until things calm down?
We can't possibly do that, Mr. MacGuffin. This is our home. We want to set things right.
The autopsy showed that she was poisoned. After questioning everyone in the house, it seemed nearly all of them had some reason to dislike her. Jovita, the Latina maid, was the one who brought food to her. But this wasn't enough to press charges. I had no evidence of tampering. Christmas was just around the corner, and I got an invite from Mr. Wagner to join them for dinner. I had my doubts about sharing a table with a possible murderer, but I had to know more. But before I had any chance to snoop around, something else happened. No witnesses, no evidence. Something that can happen only on some very specific circumstances. Right weather, right spot, and the right time.
Ah, my boy, such prodigious results. I am thoroughly impressed with you. Listen, I have something else to teach you. You have the ability, deep inside you, to look into people's minds and tell them what to do. Let's unlock this ability together. Now, follow my instructions. Oh, very good. That's my boy. Oh, very good. Now, to continue your journey, Lucius, with your new skills, you should avoid detection and reap more souls for me.
I know we've had our difficulties this year, but don't let that ruin our Christmas. As a family, we have each other. We should remember our friends and our faithful employees we have lost.
I'm not sure how you expect to win another term in the Senate with speeches like that.
Dad. Alistair, could you bring another bottle of Burgundy, please? And on your way, could you turn on the Christmas lights?
Certainly, sir.
Let's eat and try to enjoy ourselves.
I can't believe Agnes is
What's
gone.
taking Alice?
Hello, my boy.
He should be here with us.
I think the lady of the house is losing it.
If you play outside, be careful. The ground can be very slippery. All right, Lucius. How's my best mate today? Be a good boy and fetch me a bottle of 33, would you? Thank you, Lucius. What happened to the lights?
This sure is good.
Hello, grandson. Hello, my boy.
What happened to the lights? Go and get help, Lucius, quick! I must have pulled my back out.
Mr. Wagner, this is Wayne Preston from the Herald. I wonder if I could ask you some questions about the recent deaths at Dante Manor.
This is a private line. How did you get this number?
5 deaths within a few months is quite a sensational story, Mr. Wagner. The public needs to know.
Winter Hill Police Department.
This is Senator Charles Wagner. Please put me through to Detective McGuffin. The press are closing in on this, Mr. McGuffin. I have an election coming up, and I can't let this get out of control.
I sympathize with you, Mr. Wagner. These journalist types are like vultures around every sad case I get. They just love tragedies. But what can we do? It's a free country.
I need to keep this out of the papers, Mr. McGuffin. We've had a run of bad luck. It's as simple as that. The stakes are high, and I'm under a lot of pressure to clear this up.
The pressure is on both of us. Your mess is making the precinct look like a joke, and my superiors are not going to take it lightly.
Yeah, well, you won't know the half of it unless you get this wrapped up.
Is that a threat, Mr. Wagner?
That's not something you want to find out. A couple of phone calls can do wonders.
Detective McGuffin. A word with you, please.
How did you get in here?
You're working the case here at the Wagner estate. I'd like to ask a few questions about the series of unusual deaths that have occurred over the last few months.
Now listen to me. You leave those people alone. They've had some bad luck is all. They're nice people, and they need space to get over their losses, okay? And if I find you anywhere near this house again, I'll run you in. You got it? I was almost ready to bring in the Latina maid. I was planning on searching her room, hoping to find a bottle of rat poison or a padlock. But suddenly, it was too late. Seems that Tom Wagner, brother of Charles, had an affair with 2 of the maids. I guess one of them found out and wasn't happy about it. Can't really figure out what they saw in that guy. I mean, he was mooching from his brother and doing God knows what in his dirty little film room. When we searched that room, it was a sick pervert's nest. I mean, they had a kid in that house. Little did I know about this kid.
Why do I always get these assignments?
And that's not all. Have you seen these drawings he made? This is really starting to concern me. Ah, Lucius, I'm just having a chat with your mother. It's just a little grown-up talk.
Hello there, boy. Everything seems to be going well.
Morning, son.
Are you all right, son?
Have you seen your Tio? Your Uncle Tom? If you see him, can you let him know? Oh my God! How can he do this to me? Why? Oh, why?
It seems we found an obvious culprit in Miss Jovita Munez. The missing padlock from the cooler, the rat poison. It almost seems too convenient.
Why are you telling me this? It's not like we were close or anything.
Well, we have a motive, too. Pictures of you and Susan Myers and, how should we put it delicately, flagrante delicto. It seems your involvements with the staff are a little too tangled.
What? I knew nothing about this. You mean she did all this because I had a fling with Susan? Oh my God! What have I done?
Tom hasn't done anything. His indiscretions may have led to this, but he would never have put them up to it. There's no reason for it.
Look, this whole thing is a freaking mess, and I'm trying to put a cap on it. So both of you listen good. Jovita was stealing from the house. She poisoned Agnes because she was onto her. We'll ignore all the, indiscretions in the report for the sake of your family.
Whatever it takes, Detective. We want to put this all behind us. I'll straighten Tom out, but I don't think I'll be able to save my campaign at this point. The press will have a field day.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that, Mr. Wagner. But they won't get a story from me. I'm just trying to make a living. We'd finally managed to close the case, or so I thought. Seems like she had been behind every death so far in the house, except the butler. It kept bothering me. Could that really be an accident? Every path we took on the case left me uneasy. Then, right on time, a month later, it happened again. It looked like another suicide. It might have been me who pushed him over the edge. And for that, I am ashamed.
We report at 10 p.m. At Thomas Point Lake, the air temperature was 60 degrees. The winds were from the east at 13 knots. The water temperature was 58 degrees. The current time is 10:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
The marine forecast for Chesapeake Bay north of North Beach. Overnight, northeast winds 10 knots, waves 1 foot. Areas of fog after midnight with visibility 1 nautical miles or less. Wednesday, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots.